So it's been an interesting past few days for Nintendo for a myriad of reasons. Of course, they had their Q2 investors report come out with a lot of interesting stuff involved in that. They had a banger of an Indie World presentation yesterday, just awesome game after awesome game that I cannot wait to buy, and yeah, I guess. But of course, with this sort of stuff, it's all kind of subjective. If you like these games, that's cool. I could care less about most of these games, but there's been lots of discussions about things that have come out from this Q2 report. I haven't really delved too much into them. I'll touch on one of those things before we move into the main points of this video, but one of the things I find very interesting is the fact that Nintendo themselves have said that due to a semiconductor shortage that they're having to decrease the output of manufactured Nintendo Switch systems. Thus, they had to change their forecast from 21 million units sold to 19 million units sold, and I completely understand that. Like, let's be realistic here. It is damn near impossible to get your hands on a Nintendo Switch, especially in its most popular region, that being the United States. Yep, it's really hard to find a Nintendo Switch in stock right now. I mean, I don't think anyone is out there finding a Nintendo Switch in stock right now. Nope. Damn near impossible. Damn near impossible. So do I think a semiconductor shortage is the actual case, or is it more so based on the fact that in certain regions, such as the United States and Japan, the Switch is starting to lose its sizzle a little bit? I mean, I think the proof is in the pudding. Like, if you look at sales statistics for NPD or, Famitsu's Media Crate sales, like, you can see there is a bit of a drop in Nintendo Switch hardware sales. And if the system isn't selling, why would you produce so many of this system in order to keep up with a non-existent demand? You could say it's a semiconductor shortage because that's what every company does in this post-pandemic world. But is that actually the case? I mean, Tommy Tallarico said it about the Intellivision Amico. They were having semiconductor chip shortages, but was that the actual case? I'm not saying Nintendo is lying about that, but I'm saying that maybe it's a half truth or something with that. But like I said, that's not the focus of today's video. I want to talk about two things from the investors meeting that I found to be very interesting statements from Nintendo themselves, because it kind of paints a picture about maybe the future of the Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos popping up on YouTube. Nintendo is raising the price of the Nintendo Switch. The Switch is about to be more expensive, and you should just roll your eyes at that because of the fact that that's not what was actually said. Now, this information, of course, is kind of relevant because of the fact that PlayStation has increased the price of the PlayStation 5 in many regions. Of course, Nintendo and Xbox both said, hey, that's not what we're going to be doing, but there is sort of that looming fear that that might be the actual move or something like that, and that, they could end up doing that. Well, this was asked in the investors meeting, and Nintendo said the following. They were asked if they were going to raise Nintendo Switch prices, I'm assuming from the hardware standpoint, and it says it won't take such actions at this moment, but will continue monitoring the situation and carefully consider whether we need to take the option. Now, let's be realistic here. There's no rhyme or reason, even from a business perspective, for Nintendo to raise the price of the Nintendo Switch, considering a myriad of reasons. One of the main things is that Nintendo Switch hardware, the original system, since 2017 has been sold at a profit. Yes, kiddies, the technology in our Nintendo Switches is not exactly cutting-edge technology. It's actually older than 2017 by far, but that's a topic for another day. So it's not like they're actually losing money on production costs. Yes, their profit margins might be getting a little bit thinner with the way that inflation is working, but beyond that, it's not selling at a loss or even a substantial loss. It's still selling at a profit. So what's a way to increase a higher price point of your Nintendo Switch model without changing the price of your current Nintendo Switch model? Yes, you already see where I'm going with this, but I don't understand it. I don't understand why there isn't a premium system that's being talked about with this. When we're looking at how Nintendo treats handhelds, look at stuff like the DS, look at stuff like the Game Boy, look at stuff like the 3DS, multiple variants, tons of variants, cheaper alternatives, premium alternatives, this, that, and the other. And it's just bewildering to me that this isn't the move that Nintendo is indeed making. There's so many people out there that are against a revision of the Nintendo Switch because their reasoning is, oh, well, it's still selling. The system is still selling, so why would they change it? Why would they do a successor? And it's like, what the hell do you care? Are you playing game sales? Are you playing hardware sales? Or are you actually playing video games? Because when you look at the games on your Nintendo Switch, there's a disparaging quality in things like frame rates and visuals and resolutions, and we just kind of accept it because, oh, it's a portable system. But now more and more portable systems, such as the Steam Deck, are coming along and kind of leading the charge of technology. I don't expect Nintendo to get into the power wars or anything like that, but when we have first-party titles that have some inconsistencies in frame rates and stuff like that, it should be a little bit concerning. You buy and play video games. You don't buy into how many system sales are being sold for the Nintendo Switch. That's why I can't be a Nintendo YouTuber. I'm not a glass half full or half full person. I'm a glass half empty person. But beyond that, I think that's the move. I don't think Nintendo has any inclination in raising the price of the system, but if you have a premium edition of the system that, does things a little bit better, you could get away with that. And the other thing I want to talk about is the fact that Shigeru Miyamoto answered a question during the Q&A that has me scratching my head. Like, I don't understand what this reasoning is, and I don't necessarily understand this logic. Basically talking about classic consoles on Nintendo's modern systems, because, I mean, let's be realistic. Nintendo has such a strong back catalog of games, whether we're talking about first-party games or third-party games from its retro systems. No other system, no other company has the variety, the depth, and the ability to put those out on a modern platform as a way for people to play old games on new systems. Well, Shigeru Miyamoto was actually asked about that and said the following. Recently, however, the development environment has increasingly become more standardized, and now we have an environment that allows players to enjoy older video games on newer consoles more easily than ever before. Nintendo's strength is in creating new video game experiences. So when we release new hardware in the future, we would like to showcase unique video games that cannot be created with pre-existing hardware. Now, on the surface level, like that's understandable. I mean, you want games to utilize whatever new system you're coming out with to showcase the abilities of it to make people excited. But I wonder why I can't have both. Why can't I have a vast catalog of classic games? Because you've done this before. I don't know if there's short-term memory issues or something, but Nintendo has done this before. Look at the Wii era. You were making video games for two different platforms, the Wii and the DS, first-party titles. You also had tons of brand new experiences. You also had the fact that you had to do things with motion controls and touchscreen controls for these games, but you also managed to have a superior virtual console with a variety of consoles on it, from Nintendo consoles to non-Nintendo consoles, the Wii U and the 3DS era. You made games for both of these systems, and you had a vast library of classic games available on there, better than the variety you have on your modern platform. Can you really get mad at people for emulating stuff? Can you really get mad at people for getting ROMs of games that you don't make readily available? Like, I don't understand this mindset. How are we getting less stuff when the companies, the handheld divisions and the console divisions have been merged? The whole point of that merger was to make more quality products. The whole point of that merger was to increase the speed and the frequency at which we get video games. But for some reason, you can't take a day or two to add retro games onto your system. And then you can at least have a grounds to be like, hey, don't be emulating this stuff. Play it on our official Nintendo console. That way you give us money, you're getting the official experience on there, this, that, and the other. Emulators are on everything, okay? Emulators can run on your phone. They can run on a $100 device that you buy from China that, is probably made in a sweatshop or something, but we'll look past that. Emulators can run on everything, and good emulators too, and quality emulation. So I don't get why the future can't include the past. Why can't you have both? Why? I don't know, man. I don't know. The Nintendo this year has been very strange. When you look at Furukawa as a president, what has he really done? He kind of just eased himself into this position with the Nintendo Switch, and he was kind of just given it on a silver platter. Like, I feel like anyone could have continued the success of the system when he joined Nintendo, because of the fact that the success had already been started. The groundwork was already there. You just had to make sure that the groundwork didn't get too many cracks in the foundation. And yes, I'll keep saying that, even though people are using that against me. I watch your videos, other people. I watch your videos, but thank me for giving you content to talk about. But I feel like there was no cracks in the foundation. Everything was copacetic, especially after the failures of the Wii U. But I feel like your heads of Nintendo, like, what are they doing right now? What is Furukawa doing? What is Doug Bowser doing? Like, what does Doug Bowser do? Market? It's just weird to me. I feel like this company, it's almost like a state where we got in the Wii era, where the confidence was so high, and that cockiness. Oh, we could do anything. We could sell you cardboard, and we'll sell millions of pieces of cardboards. Everything is on fire. But that's not a long-term strategy, because at some point in time, people are gonna want something different. People are gonna want something more. So I don't know. Not doom and gloom by any stretch of the imagination. Just from a consumer standpoint, I'm kind of questioning, what's the next move? What's the future? What are we doing as a company, when the things that I think would make sense, a more powerful system that's still a Nintendo Switch, so you still get those Nintendo Switch sales, it's just a complementary option, and having a vast variety of your classic games, these seem like positive pro-consumer moves, right? So why would we be against that? Why would anyone be against that? I don't know. Give me your feedback in the comments section down below, though. If you think I'm crazy and you have a differentiating opinion than me, that's great. I'm not going to argue with you on Twitter about it. I don't care. This is me sharing my opinion, and you are allowed to share your opinion. You can make a video on YouTube. That's what I told people yesterday. I said, yo, if you like that Indie World presentation, make a YouTube channel and share your joy of it, because it sucked ass in my opinion. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, hit that bell notification as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video.